Second game of our day-night doubleheader. The Braves management has just made an announcement inviting all the fans who remain after this long rain delay to move down to as good a seat as they can find.
How about that? Nice box seats filling up. Beautiful.
They were supposed to have a post-game concert after this game, but because of the late hour, they have canceled that.
But it's only fair that they do this because the fans stuck around. I took a walk around the stadium. Let me tell you, that 3 hours were delayed. People were eating and drinking. They spent their money. They deserve to be down there.
And so they are. Well, Jacob deGrom, many hours after his latest
can't be
fine but unrequited start.
Not even a consolation win, a loss to boot.
7 more terrific innings for deGrom today. Mickey Callaway, whose finger has seemed to hit all the wrong buttons lately, not necessarily his doing, just the fact that his relief pitchers are not getting the job done right now. Hoping for better in this late night affair as the Mets bid for a split of this day-night doubleheader. That's Blooper, by the way. Do you know the Braves have a new mascot this year?
Yeah, I do. Blooper. Very
it's a very neutral color. It's like beige.
He's got the Brockabrella on. Remember that? Those days when Lou started the Brockabrella.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it was a Brockabrella.
Did he get like a patent and everything?
Yeah, he did.
Very smart. Here's your Geico starting lineup for game 2. Look, Kevin Plawecki's in the lineup. Last time he played a big league game, it was April 11th. He got hit in the hand by a Tyrone Guerrero fastball, and he's been out ever since, missed 39 games, and back in there today after 4 games on rehab in Vegas.
Oh, they're the umpires.
And look, here's you, Keith.
We're here
in living color. See, he's still here after all these hours.
We'll never leave you folks. We're here.
10, 12 hours in the ballpark, a few more. What better place is there to be on the Memorial Day holiday?
We both spend most of our lives at the ballpark. What's 3 hours?
We're here for you. And I'm here for you, Keith.
Play ball.
Shooting off fireworks. Very impressive. This is one of those unique days that you spend at a ballpark where the day just goes on and on and on. It rained very heavily for a while this evening, and it's going to rain some more later tonight, and it's going to rain tomorrow, and it's going to rain the next day, so they're going to try and squeeze this ball game into the window available.
We always seem to find Atlanta, Georgia rain when we come to town.
You know, the folks here in Atlanta used to tell us that it was us, that it didn't rain so much when other teams came in. It's just not true. Atlanta leads the world in rainouts and rain delays. Some of the firework debris has found its way into the outfield. Meanwhile, Brandon McCarthy getting ready for this late night start for the Braves.
Well, you see, he's got 10 starts. This guy has had a checkered career full of injuries, disabled list, but he's made all 10 starts this year, 5-2 on the season. He's lifetime against the Mets, a 1-2 record with a 2.41 in 3 career starts. And I'm ordered to do the Jeep defense from the truck, the Brave Jeep defense. Scooper over there, Freddie. Yes, double dip, please.
I like the
very
music.
Clever.
Very nice.
Hasn't won a Gold Glove, but one of the best fielders in the league at first base. And you got 2 Gold Glovers out there in the outfield. And the hero of Game 1, Charlie Culberson, gets rewarded with a start in left field.
Culberson with a 2-run walk-off home run against Seth Lugo in the bottom of the 9th. That propelled the Braves to the first game victory and handed the Mets their 4th straight loss. Mets have now lost 6 out of 7 of the Braves this year, and they'll try and split the doubleheader as McCarthy makes the start through 6 scoreless innings against the Mets last year while wearing a Dodger uniform. Brandon Nimmo leads off 0 for 4 in the opener. He was also hit by a pitch and scored a run. And McCarthy's first pitch of the night is taken for a strike, and we're underway after a rain delay of 2 hours and 57 minutes.
Oh.
Nimmo's on base percentage at .416 as this game begins. And he takes low and in for McCarthy, a ball and a strike. Michael Conforto on deck, and then Jay Bruce, and I believe that's the moon.
Who would have thought the moon or the sun earlier would have made an appearance today?
Fastball in the corner, and McCarthy gets ahead 1-2. Michael Conforto waiting on deck. 6'8" Brandon McCarthy delivers 1-2, and the breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2. McCarthy came over from the Dodgers in the same trade that brought them Adrian Gonzalez, whom they subsequently released and the Mets picked up. McCarthy was really the one guy they kept out of that deal, along with Charlie Culberson, who's already had an impact today. And it's pulled down to first base. Freddie Freeman handles it, and that's the first out of the night.
We're underway.
So now Michael Conforto went 0 for 3 in the opener today as his stop and start season continues. His average at .227. Hit a couple of home runs in Milwaukee over the weekend.
Well, if you think that McCarthy looks like the Jolly Green Giant, he is. He's 6'8", folks. 225 pounds. That is a tall drink of water. All legs.
The Jolly Green Giant. Does he like his vegetables? One to Conforto. McCarthy's had all sorts of physical woes in his career. I just counted it up. He has been on the disabled list 15 separate times in his career. Along the way, he's had Tommy John surgery. He got hit in the head by a line drive a few years back. Suffered a skull fracture. That's ripped and past Freeman and into right field. A base hit for Conforto. Well, he hit it hard to Freeman's right, and it was hit so hard it ate up Freddie.
Yep.
And the Mets have a one-out hit.
It's tough to eat up Freddie over there. That ball was scalded. Oh, it came up too. Well, that's a bullet.
So Conforto has the first hit of this game, and now Jay Bruce, who went 0 for 4 in the opener.
Boy, Jay has just really been struggling.
And he takes a fastball for a strike. Talked about McCarthy's physical woes. Last year, his big issue was blisters. He missed nearly 2 months with the Dodgers because of blister issues. That seemed to be a big problem across baseball last year. And nobody's had more blister injuries and issues to deal with than McCarthy's former Dodger teammate Rich Hill, who's on the shelf again this year with continuing blister problems. A lot of people have felt as though the lower seams on the ball were responsible for all the blisters. Don't seem to be as many guys suffering with that this year as last. Good cut by Bruce, but he fouls it back 1-2.
Well, Rich Hill of the Dodgers, notorious for the old blisters, Gare.
The one he has this year, Hill, seems to be the worst one he's had yet. Something that might keep him out for a long period of time. Adrian Gonzalez waits on deck. And the slider in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two coming. Drilled down the right field line. Fair ball bouncing up off the sidewall, and they say out of play. It's a ground rule double for Bruce. So Bruce hit it very hard, kept it inside the line. He'll get 2 bases out of that. Conforto stops at third, and the Mets are in business. Second and third, 1 out.
Good sign from Jay. A hanging breaking ball, and still a little out in front. But if he's out in front as he's been for this period, he would not make that kind of contact. So that's a good sign right there. I'll put a smile on your face too.
10th double of the year for Bruce. And now Adrian Gonzalez will try and make something of it. Gonzalez, who was released by the Braves after they picked him up from the Dodgers. That was the deal where they sent away Matt Kemp in an exchange of, I guess, what both teams would have referred to as dead money. But the Mets happy with what they've gotten so far from Gonzalez. And Adrian has good numbers against his former Dodger teammate McCarthy. 6 for 12 with a home run against him. Braves have the infield back with second and third and 1 out. Willing to concede a run on a ground ball. And he drills one into right field, a base hit. That'll bring in Conforto with the game's first run. Bruce will stop at third. 3 straight hits for New York. Gonzalez drives in the run, and it's 1-0 New York.
Every rocket that's been hit, all 3 base hits by the Mets on the breaking ball. And it's got to be just a roller, easy to track. And you got Gonzalez, you know, you can pump the fastball too. You can let him throw. He's an excellent breaking ball hitter his whole career.
Well, McCarthy's had a big problem trying to put out fires this year. Opposition hitters are hitting .404 with runners in scoring position against him. Here's Kevin Plawecki, his first at bat since April the 11th. Missed 39 games after he was hit on the left hand by a pitch and suffered a broken bone. Played 4 games on rehab for Vegas. Went 3 for 13 with a home run. And in there tonight. And he hits a soft tapper back to the mound. Whoa! And it skips by Albies into center. A run scores as Bruce comes home and Gonzalez winds up on third. Should have been an inning-ending double play, but McCarthy goosed the throw to second base, and the Mets have a 2-0 lead.
Oh, McCarthy's been around way too long for him to make this kind of mistake. This is his 12th year in the big leagues. Boy, he can get himself out of trouble with an easy 2, and he throws a bowling ball.
Give Plawecki an RBI since you can't assume the double play. Error on the pitcher. Brings in the run and sends Gonzalez over to third. And now the Mets have a chance to make more of it with Jose Reyes at the plate. So a very difficult start for McCarthy. 3 straight hard hits. And then he throws away a potential inning-ending double play ball. Reyes making his 12th start. His last one came in Milwaukee Saturday. He had a good offensive night, drove in a couple of runs, and has an RBI chance here. And he lines one sharply. Swanson's got him on 1 hop, out at second. Albies to first in time for the double play, and the inning is over.
I'm not sure if the second baseman stayed on the bag gear on the turn. I could be wrong. And here's the first base throw here. Let's see if he got him. Certainly did. Maybe I'm wrong on the force scare, but looks like there's going to be no challenge.
Mets are not challenging the call, so it's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. The Mets get 2 runs out of that and hand P.J. Conlon a 2-0 lead.
So I must be seeing double, folks, because there's not even close. He was clearly on second base. But let's look at the turn here. This is a speedy Jose Reyes. Look at him throwing, moving back to avoid the runner and throwing a bullet over there to turn 2. That's a nice turn.
That's the way second baseman used to turn it before the new slide rule, using the bag for protection. There's the Braves starting lineup. Not many changes from game 1. Charlie Culberson gets rewarded with a second game start after his game-ending home run. Kurt Suzuki catches. Otherwise, same lineup as the first game. Ender Inciarte leads off against P.J. Conlon, making his second big league start.
That start would be in Cincinnati. The Land Rover numbers right there. Those are his minor league numbers.
Inciarte grounds one. Big hop for Gonzalez, and that's the first out.
Your Lexus Met infield. You got the 4-time Gold Glover over there in Gonzalez. Reyes gets the start at third base. Guillorme moves to second base. The second start of this doubleheader for him, both games. Nimmo back to left field. Bruce back to right field.
Bruce played first base in the first game. Ozzie Albies hitting second in the order for the second straight game. He had led off 26 straight games before moving down because of the injury to Ronald Acuna, who suffered a mild ACL sprain yesterday. Good changeup by Conlon to get ahead on Albies. 0-2. Conlon's going to have to tease you with soft stuff. His average fastball velocity in that first start against the Reds was 85.6. It's one of the lowest figures of any non-knuckleballer in baseball. Throws that one 88 outside to Albies. 1-2. Conlon, 24 years old. As you probably know by now, was born in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Moved to California when he was 2 years old. Comebacker, and he handles it cleanly and gets the out at first to retire Albies. 2 away. Conlon becoming the first Irish-born player to play in the big league since Joe Cleary with the 1945 Washington Senators. One of his parents was born in Ireland, one in Scotland, but they met in California, moved back to Northern Ireland, and then when the troubles got too hot, they moved back to the States, and that's where PJ grew up. Plawecki gets the early wake-up call after his return from the disabled list. Freddie Freeman at the plate, 2 for 3 and a walk in the opener today. He's riding a 9-game hitting streak. And Conlon teases him upstairs, and it's 0-2. That's off Conlon and into center field, a base hit. So Freeman, after flailing at a high slider, got the same pitch and whacked it up the middle.
Well, Freeman, one of the best hitters in the game, 2 for 3 in the first game, was part of that that 1-run eighth. Set up that run to tie the ball game here. Just continues to hit and wear out left-handers.
Just off the thumb of the glove of Conlon. 10-game hitting streak now for Freeman, a 2-out base runner for the Braves. And here's Nick Markakis, who went 1 for 3 in the opener. He had the tying RBI in the 8th with a sacrifice fly against Lugo before Mesoraco's home run gave the Mets the lead, only to see it undone in the bottom of the 9th by Culberson's walk-off shot. There's that comebacker.
Off the thumb of his glove.
Markakis hitting at .340, off to the best offensive start of his career at age 34. And he flies one out to left. Nimmo back a few strides, has it lined up. And that retires the side. P.J. Conlon throws a scoreless first inning after being handed the lead. 2-0 Mets after 1. Get to Citi Field for Free Shirt Friday this Friday, June 1st, when the Mets take on the Cubs. All fans in attendance will receive a Michael Conforto replica jersey, courtesy of Geico. Purchase tickets at Mets.com/tickets. Mets have a 2-0 lead as they come to bat in the second. Luis Guillorme leads off against Brandon McCarthy. Guillorme had a good offensive game in the first game. 2 hits, including an RBI double that he hit over the head of Preston Tucker in left field. 6 for 25 in his big league career. 6th start for Guillorme tonight. And he takes a fastball outside, 1-1. Ahmed Rosario, again in the 8 hole as he was this afternoon, is on deck. And then P.J. Conlon. A little change in philosophy for Mickey Callaway with Rosario at the bottom of the batting order. Said before the game that he needs to stack his hitters 1 through 8 now. They just need the offense. That it's better for Rosario to hit 9th as he gets better pitchers, but better for the team for him to hit 8th.
Correct. And time to take off the training wheels. You know, it's the big leagues. Here you go.
Yeah. And I think the fact that Rosario has been more patient at the plate lately, drawn a couple of walks the last 2 days, I think that made his decision a little easier. 2-2 coming, and Guillorme bounces one down to Freeman. McCarthy covers, 1 out. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Rosario, who was 1 for 4 in the opener. And he takes a fastball in the corner for a strike. Brandon McCarthy's been pitching some of his best baseball lately. Last 2 starts pitching to a 1.54 ERA. His last one in Philadelphia gave up just 1 run in 5 2/3. Rosario slices one down the right field line. Markakis across the line, reaching in, and did he get it?
Yes, he did.
He did. What a terrific play by Nick Markakis, the former Gold Glover, reaching into the stands to pick off that foul fly ball.
Well, good focus here, getting near the wall. Those kids, oh, nice try.
The kid was hoping for a souvenir, and instead he got an up close and personal with his hero. Look at his expression. That's priceless.
The expression on the kid's face. Very nice play by Markakis, and he didn't lay a hand on the young man.
He's very deft. That was an experience of a lifetime right there.
Yep, they probably were moved down from maybe the second level down into the box seats. How sweet.
P.J. Conlon had a hit in his first start, hitting 500 in the big leagues, and now 333. How quickly it dissipates. They'll be talking about that for days. Sometimes it pays to stay late. You never know what might happen. 2-0 Mets in the second.
Nathan Bruckenthal. In 2004, during his second tour in Iraq, Nate's team intercepted suicide bombers who were attempting to attack an oil terminal with an explosive-laden boat. Nate was the first member of the Coast Guard killed in action since the Vietnam War.
On this Memorial Day, remembering those who have given their lives in service to our nation. And a great job by the Mets players remembering particular soldiers who lost their lives in the line of duty.
Very appropriate and just well fought. It's been going on from the first game, and it's been wonderful.
It's been a full day of remembrance today, along with a full day of baseball. Kurt Suzuki leads off in the home second for Atlanta. Tyler Flowers caught the first game. Suzuki came off the bench, popped up in his only at bat against Jacob deGrom when deGrom got out of that big 7th inning jam this afternoon. Suzuki, though, having another good offensive year after a breakout season last year. I mean, he's always been a good offensive player, but never a top flight offensive catcher. But last year hit .283 with 19 home runs at age 33. Not quite up to that level this year, but still pretty good, hitting .262, 6 homers, 19 driven in. He and Flowers form quite the tandem behind the plate for the Braves. A lot of power. And Conlon leaves it away from him, 2-1. Suzuki, then Charlie Culberson and Johan Camargo for the Braves in the second. Changeup sits high to Suzuki, 3-1.
Conlon has that big shoulder, front shoulder lift, hides the ball well. Not an overpowering pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. Control pitcher.
Suzuki rockets one deep to left field. Nimmo gives a look, but that's well out of here. And the Met lead is cut in half. Kurt Suzuki with his 7th home run of the year, and now it's 2-1. Second home run, P.J. Conlon's allowed in the big leagues.
Well, 3-1 count came with the fastball. He was all over it, sitting on it. And Conlon has to, he's getting the ball up. He's a sinker ball pitcher and not throwing 90 miles an hour. He has to keep the ball down, get that sink working.
Gave up a home run to Billy Hamilton in Cincinnati. Now one to Kurt Suzuki. And now Culberson, this afternoon's hero, takes ball one.
You can see right there, just below the belt.
Culberson, it's a sharp grinder. Reyes able to handle it. Wide throw, good footwork by Gonzalez to stay on the bag, 1 out. How many times have we seen Gonzalez do that just in the last 2 weeks? Mostly on errant throws by Wilmer Flores, but that one a little wide from Reyes into the runner. What's the key to that play, Keith?
Knowing where the runner is. See, you never. Gonzalez knew where the runner was. You can see, you're looking at third base here, right? So you've got a good view of the runner coming down the line. It's not even really peripheral vision. And you've got time to look and check where the runner is. And you can, I didn't like to go into foul territory, only when it was an easy out, when the runner was beat. But it was a close play. Gonzalez can't do that. He'd have to come get the ball, make the tag. And he knows that.
Because you risk having the ball hit the runner.
Exactly. Precisely.
Johan Camargo, the batter. And he takes the changeup down, 2-1. Camargo, a switch hitter, much better from the left side than from this side. And the changeup off the plate. And again, Conlon falls behind, 3-1.
A 172 hitter against left-hand pitching so far this year with no home runs.
And Camargo flies one out to left center. Back in the gap goes Conforto with Nimmo, and it goes off Nimmo's glove. Camargo pulls in at second base. Well, yesterday it was a ball in right center that Bruce and Conforto couldn't make the connection on, and this time a ball in left center that Nimmo and Conforto can't figure out a way to catch.
This could have been a collision here. The center fielder, and Nimmo cut in front. Conforto's calling for it, and you just don't know how loud his voice is, how much it carries, but the center fielder is the policeman out there. When he calls off a corner outfielder, it's the center fielder's ball.
Well, that's one that Nimmo definitely should have left alone. Instead, it goes as a double for Camargo. So the tying run in scoring position with one out for Dansby Swanson. And he takes a strike. Swanson 0 for 4 in the opener. Ball and a strike to Swanson. And he fouls off the fastball, 1-2. Well, it was a battle of futility as far as driving in runners in that first game. Teams combined for 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position. A lot of that the strong work of DeGrom. And Conlon strikes out Swanson for the second out. First strikeout for P.J. Conlon.
Best breaking ball he's thrown. It's a good slider, good spot.
So that gives him a chance to get out of the inning without further trouble with Brandon McCarthy coming up. McCarthy in his career 7 hits in 137 at bats.
Okay.
And he's got a big strike zone at 6'8".
I did. Now there's the strikeout pitch. You can see the little off the ball. See the circle on the ball? That's your slider. That's the telltale sign.
If only the hitters could see it in slow motion.
Not the telltale heart, a telltale sign.
Lined over second, base hit. One hop by Conforto. Trying to score is Camargo. The throw on a hop. Plawecki. Did he get him? He tagged him out. Inning over. Aggressive send by Ron Washington, the Braves' third base coach, on the base hit by McCarthy, but Conforto throws out Camargo at the plate to end the inning. He is so accurate with his throws.
And he knew he had time just to get set and perfect one hop.
No attempt by Camargo to slide, and Plawecki got him right in the midsection. 2-1 Mets after 2. Base hit for Mr. McCarthy. As you look at the Spectrum high-speed pitch, and it's McCarthy by a half dozen. Only the 8th hit of his career in 138 at-bats, and he can't get the RBI because Conforto makes the good throw home.
He certainly did. And Camargo doesn't. That ball was a bullet, by the way, but Camargo not really a really fast runner.
So the Mets retain the lead 2-1. Top of the batting order. Brandon Nimmo leads off against McCarthy in the 3rd. Nimmo grounded out to first base his first time up. Now 0 for 5 in the doubleheader. And a rocket to deep center field. Back goes Inciarte to the track, looking up, and it's out of here. Brandon Nimmo goes deep, his 5th of the year, and it's 3-1 New York. Second home run of the road trip for Nimmo, who continues to show off all facets of his game.
No, he got a first pitch fastball down the middle into the sweet zone, and he crushed it. Well done.
He has hit some really long home runs.
He has come a long way.
Gives you an idea of the kind of power he has. And now Conforto, who had a base hit his first time up.
Right into the wheelhouse. That was right down Broadway.
That's worthy of a forearm bash, just like the old Bash brothers. Remember that, the Canseco McGuire Bash brothers?
I
thing?
do.
Now McCarthy behind 2-0, and Conforto with a good hack fouls one back, 2-1. That's 8 home runs McCarthy's allowed in 54 innings this year. And Michael hits one foul, 2-2.
Watch the feet of Nimmo there. Look at that, both feet off the ground. After that's pretty much, he's almost in a full follow through. So he's getting set to bust out of the box, which Nimmo always does.
Swing done, run beginning. Conforto bloops one, shallow left center, falling fast, base hit. And Conforto is 2 for 2. So the Mets piling up the base hits against Brandon McCarthy. That's 5 of them in 2 innings plus. And now Jay Bruce, who drilled a double down the right field line his first time up. That scored 2 in the first. They were both earned runs, despite the fact that McCarthy's error brought in the second run. Now a home run by Nimmo here in the 3rd, and Conforto follows with a base hit. And Bruce lifts one to left. Culberson coming in. And Bruce retired, one away. Conforto back to first. Conforto gave a phantom bluff like he was going to run right before McCarthy came out of his stretch. Now Adrian Gonzalez, who was a Brave on paper for a while this winter. Got a base hit his first time up against his quote-unquote old team. Drove in a run in the first inning. Now 7 for 13 against McCarthy, including a home run.
Conforto got picked off in game 1. Really nifty move out of Max Fried, the left-handed starter for Atlanta. Good move.
Fried picked off 2 in 1 inning. Bautista was picked off as well. Got thrown out trying to get the second. Fastball in the corner to Gonzalez, 0-1. Brandon McCarthy, originally drafted by the White Sox, 17th round pick in 2002 out of junior college in Colorado. Born in California, moved to Colorado Springs when he was about 10. But because of his California roots, grew up a big Oral Hershiser fan. finally got to play for the Dodgers for a couple of years. Had one postseason appearance last year with LA. Which gave him one more postseason appearance than Adrian Gonzalez had with the Dodgers. Adrian went fishing.
Yes, they didn't even put him on the roster during the World Series.
It's kind of a lost year for Adrian last year with the back problems he had. Trying to reprove himself this year at age 36. Conforto at first with one out. Kevin Plawecki on deck. And Gonzalez down on the high fastball. First strikeout of the night for Brandon McCarthy, 2 out.
Went after a high one there, chased a high fastball.
So 2 out, a runner at first, and now Plawecki, who had a comebacker to McCarthy that McCarthy threw away trying for a double play, and they brought in the second Met run in the first inning. Plawecki's first at bat since the 11th of April. So much has changed since the day Kevin got hurt. Remember, it was the day after Travis d'Arnaud was found to need Tommy John surgery. Plawecki looked like he was going to get the opportunity to play every day. He bangs one up the middle for a base hit. Conforto pulls in at second. So Plawecki breaks his hand, and the Mets bring in Lobaton, and they bring in Nido, and neither one of them hit, and they trade for Mesoraco, and now Plawecki's kind of back in the role that he was in before, but maybe even less so because Mesoraco's made such a positive impression in the 2 weeks that he's been here.
Mesoraco, I got to believe, is going to get the lion's share of the playing time. McCarthy's getting hit pretty hard here.
I mean, 6 hits now for New York.
I don't believe for a minute he's throwing 95 miles an hour. Those things look like cantaloupes coming in.
Not honeydew. Reyes takes a breaking ball for a strike. Well, we gave you that number earlier. That is, it's not a way to keep teams off the board. It's the polar opposite of the Jacob deGrom method. Opposition's 0 for the last 29 against Jake with runners in scoring position. We saw a lot of that this afternoon. Reyes drives one down the right field line, headed toward the corner. Foul. Just barely missed an extra base hit.
This is another one of those stadiums, Gare, that we don't have that view up here. Right in that corner, right down the line, we lose sight on both lines.
We had that in Milwaukee. We have that at home at Citi Field.
Yep, we have to rely on the expert direction of Dan Barr in the truck to get the right camera angle. We have to move our eyes from the field to the monitor.
Or you can watch the umpire.
Yes.
That's my cheat. 1-2 to Reyes. And the first base umpire, Chris Guccione, made the correct call. That area has already produced a lot of action tonight. Young people who got to meet Nick Markakis up close and personal earlier. 1-2 to Reyes, and he dribbles one foul. Brandon McCarthy, now 34 years old, his 11th start this year. 5-2, but with a relatively high ERA, 4.67, but had been pitching very well coming into this start, but getting knocked around a little bit tonight. And Reyes bangs one off McCarthy's leg. He recovers and makes the play to end the inning. Mets had a run on the Brandon Nimmo home run. The happiest man in baseball uncorks his 5th home run of the year. That would make anybody happy. 3-1 New York in the 3rd. PC Richard & Son, the official appliance, electronics, and mattress retailer of the New York Mets. And that's diversity. Well, the late night hour has not kept the folks here from dancing. Where'd the music go? They were all set to dance well into the night. Top of the batting order, NC Arte bluffs the bunt and takes ball 1 from P.J. Conlon, who now has a 3-1 lead. NC Arte going through a rough patch right now. 0 for 1 in this game, 0 for 5 in the doubleheader, and 4 for his last 30. And he takes below the knees 2-0. Ozzie Albies on deck, and then Freddie Freeman against Conlon, who gave up a home run to Kurt Suzuki in the 2nd, but worked through further trouble with the help of Michael Conforto's strong throw from center to throw out Camargo at the plate. And a change up on the inside corner, and it's 2-2.
Ciarte thought that ball curved around the inside corner.
Pull toward the hole and a base hit. Ciarte takes a hard turn, but Jay Bruce gets it in quickly. Ciarte with his first hit of the doubleheader.
Second baseman number 1, Ozzie Albies.
This could be one of those bullpen nights, Gary. This game is shaping up. Already 11 hits in the game. We're not through 3.
Well, the Mets have a fully stocked bullpen. They only used 1 reliever in the first game today. That was an ill-fated outing for Seth Lugo. Here's Albies, who had a comebacker his first time up. And the Mets activated 2 pitchers today. Hansel Robles came off the disabled list, and Gerson Bautista was added to the roster as the 26th man for the doubleheader. So the Mets have lots of arms down there. AJ Ramos went on the disabled list today with the tightness in his shoulder. Says he has a little rotator cuff tendonitis.
18 stolen bases for Ciarte.
Albies pulls one past Reyes and down the line. Ciarte is going to try for third. Nimmo's throw is not in time, and down to second base goes Albies. Second and third and nobody out.
Ball came up on Reyes. Watch the up hop here. No, not really. He's there. He got it on the inside part of the glove. He overplayed it. And Ciarte is going to challenge the arm of Nimmo.
Close play, but he stayed on the bag, and that enabled Albies to go to second base on the throw. Now Freddie Freeman with 2 in scoring position. And takes the fastball down for ball 1.
Freddie had no opportunities to drive in any runs his last game. Coming into the game hitting .435 with runners in scoring position.
Singled off Conlon's glove his first time up in this game. And he pulls one foul. Freeman is 3 for 4 in the doubleheader. He now has a 10-game hitting streak going. Tying runs in scoring position with nobody out. The infield playing back. And Freeman chases the slider from Conlon, and it's 1-2.
There you have it right there. Matt Kemp.
Kemp has had a fabulous start for the Dodgers amidst all the difficulties they've had. 1-2, and Freeman fights it off.
That's what he does so well. Freddie with 2 strikes. Guy gets you up and in, and you can just fight it off, stay in the at bat.
Nick Markakis to follow. That's too high. 2-2. Mets are not going to waste any time getting someone up in the bullpen. Hansel Robles is beginning to warm up, with Conlon struggling here in the third, giving up back-to-back hits. 2-2. Line center field, base hit for Freeman. Inciarte is in. Albies will score as well, and that ties things up. Freeman with yet another base hit with 2 strikes. Drives in a pair to tie the game at 3.
Good hitting. Slider not away enough. Went down in just a flick of the wrist. Almost like a slap shot. That swing similar to a hockey swing. And there's the back runner, Albies, who can fly. Look at him go down and get that ball. No follow through. Just a little slap shot. And a shot on goal.
He doesn't have too many vulnerabilities, does he?
Look at that. Watch the follow through, Gary. Just stops right there.
Does exactly what he needs to do to put the ball in play, hit a line drive, which he does at a higher rate than anybody else in the game. 3 straight hits against Conlon have produced 2 runs and tied this game. And now Nick Markakis, who flied out his first time up. And this could well be Conlon's last batter, with right-hand hitting to follow. You got Suzuki and Culberson, the next 2 hitters, both right-hand batters. And Robles getting warm in the bullpen. Conlon went 3 2/3 in his first start in Cincinnati. And so far, just 2 innings plus today. Pitching on regular rest. His last outing for Las Vegas came 6 days ago in Sacramento, and that didn't go particularly well. 5 runs in 3 innings. In fact, his AAA numbers have not been good at all. And a fastball misses, and it's 2-1. Conlon 8 starts for Vegas, 2-3 with a 6.58 ERA. Nothing to write home about, even when you factor in how difficult it is to pitch in Vegas.
Well, 39 2/3, 51 hits. 6 home runs, so it's been tough going for him all year here.
2-2 to Markakis. Fastball line to right, but right at Bruce, but it sails over him and goes to the wall. Freeman digging for third. He'll be stopped there. It's a double for Markakis on a ball misjudged by Jay Bruce, the 4th straight hit in the inning. It was a bullet, but it looked like a ball Jay should have caught.
Well, he just froze on this ball. Come in, there's the 2 steps in, and that's it. Similar to the first game when the left fielder Tucker misplayed a line drive.
And that's going to be all for P.J. Conlon.
Good base running by Freeman halfway. Got a late hold here from Ron Washington.
So Conlon gives up 4 straight hits to start the 3rd. He's out after 2 innings plus in a tie game. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. Well, after nearly 3 weeks on the disabled list with a sprained knee, Hansel Robles returns to action.
Well, it hasn't fared well for him, and he's had the issues with the long ball. Started out real strong. His first 3 or 4 appearances, and just reverted back to his old self.
Gave up a home run in each of his last 3 outings before going on the DL. Kurt Suzuki, who homered his first time up tonight, up with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. And takes a slider off the plate for ball 1. Suzuki's home run was his 7th of the year. P.J. Conlon lasted just 2 innings plus, 46 pitches, 8 hits, 3 runs so far. No walks, a strikeout, a home run, and responsible for the 2 on base. Suzuki drives one to right. Another chance for Bruce. He gets to this one, but tagging at third is Freeman. He comes in with the go-ahead run. Markakis goes to third. Sacrifice fly for Suzuki, his 2nd RBI of the night, to make it 4-3 Atlanta. So 3 runs home in the inning. And with that ball deep enough for Markakis to take third, the Mets will have to bring the infield in here against Charlie Culberson. Culberson grounded out to third his first time up. Jose Reyes is still so uncomfortable playing third base after doing it quite a bit last year. He can't even play in when the infield's in.
Well, he's got to come in.
I mean,
a slow roller, he's going to score. I mean, you're in to get the cut off the run, the lead run.
I just don't get it. If he is so uncomfortable playing third base, how can you play him there? I mean, last year was a bit of an adjustment period, but at this point, come on.
You could put a bunt down to third base line and walk home.
Yep.
And walk to first. I've never seen this where you had 3 infielders in and 1 back.
Robles overpowers Culberson, and it's 1-2. Johan Camargo, the on-deck batter. Mets had leads of 2-0 and 3-1, but that is quickly dissipated. One-two coming. 2-2 to Culberson. Robles, his 11th outing of the year. Johan Camargo on deck. Culberson chases one out of the strike zone, and Robles has his first strikeout, the second out of the inning.
Boy, that's a fastball. That's 4 inches, 5 inches outside. He's swinging at it.
So 2 out. Now the infield can back up. I mean, the rest of the infield.
You stand corrected.
Reyes in the same spot. Johan Camargo double down the left field line, his first time up. And Robles gets a high strike call from Phil Cuzzy, 0-1. 3 runs home in the inning for Atlanta. And Camargo trying to pick up Markakis from third with 2 out.
Oh!
And he's drilled by the pitch. That one caught him flush.
Yes, it did. That hurt. At the back of the knee. I mean, that one wasn't even close. You have no chance to get out of the way of that one. Oh, side of the knee.
The back knee.
Oh, that hurts. Pat, you'd be screaming at the pitcher, have an idea. The plate's over here.
He's okay. He'll stay in. First batter Robles has hit this year. He had 5 last year. So now runners at the corners with 2 out. And Dansby Swanson coming up. Swanson struck out his first time up against Conlon. Conlon's only strikeout tonight. Markakis at third. Camargo at first with 2 out. And Robles going with the green chewing gum, trying to find his way. Is that an apple flavored gum, you believe?
Maybe double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh, you think it's a double mint? No, I think it.
I think it's some.
It's some flavored bubble gum.
Yep.
I prefer the watermelon myself.
I don't.
No.
No. I like cinnamon.
Cinnamon bubble gum?
Yes.
Do they make such a thing?
Yes, they do. It's delicious.
I mean, they have all the flavors there on the bench.
I prefer the grape with the double bubble.
Yeah, that's good. The grape is good, but I'm really a watermelon bubble gum guy.
I never have been.
Yeah.
Not even. Well, I won't go there.
Hansel behind 2-0 on Swanson, and he pops the outside corner 2-1. You got the pitcher McCarthy on deck, who had a base hit his first time up tonight. Robles facing his 4th batter, gave up the sac fly to Suzuki, struck out Culberson before drilling Camargo in the knee. And Swanson takes a fastball for a strike, and it's 2-2. Swanson 0 for 5 in the doubleheader after striking out his first time in this game. 2-2 coming. Ground ball. Guillorme slides over to get it. And that retires the side, but not before the Braves score 3 to take the lead. 4-3 Atlanta after 3. Early look at the game summary. We don't usually get that till the middle of the game, but it's been an eventful 3 innings, so we figured we'd keep you up to date. Mets had leads of 2-0 and 3-1. A home run by Brandon Nimmo put them up 3-1, but that quickly dissipated. B.J. Conlon out after 2 innings plus, 4 runs, 8 hits in his second big league start. The dancing continues in the stands at 11:13 on a Memorial Day evening.
This late, just let him burn it out right there. They'll go home and hit the kip and be gone.
I mean, how much sugar do you think that the young people in this ballpark have consumed since they got here? Luis Guillorme leads off in the 4th inning against Brandon McCarthy, who now has the lead for the first time. And gets the first pitch curveball in for a strike, 0-1. Guillorme grounded out to first base his first time up. McCarthy's been hit very hard. The Mets have 6 hits, and there haven't been too many cheap ones among them. And fastball away to Guillorme, 1-1. Ahmed Rosario next, and then the pitcher's spot. Nobody warming up in the Mets bullpen, so there may be yet another plate appearance in the offing for a Mets reliever. Mets may lead the world in that by the time the year's over. Fouled away, and it's 1-2. City probables for the remainder of the series. You can put Anibal Sanchez in tomorrow night for the Braves. They've announced that he's going to come off the DL and pitch against Steven Matz. And then a matchup of aces on Wednesday with Syndergaard against Tehran. Guillorme flies one out to center, right to Inciarte. He didn't move an inch. 1 out. So now Rosario, who had a foul fly that Markakis made a nice play on, reaching into the stands. And indeed, Hansel Robles has come out on deck to bat for himself. The Mets have already had more plate appearances by relief pitchers this season than they had all of last season. It's remarkable. Now, part of that is because they've had, you know, a different kind of bullpen with the Lugos and the Gazelmans and the Seawalds pitching multiple innings as part of a plan. But it's a testament to how short the Mets bench has been as well. Rosario flies one out to right, and Markakis is right there. And quickly there are 2 out. But I believe, if my math is correct, and maybe the truck can check on this, I think this is the 20th plate appearance by a Mets relief pitcher this year. They had 18 all of last year.
Gary, I'm not going to go against you on that one. I have no clue. I'm going to stick with your statement there.
Which one? Robles' last plate appearance was in 2016. I'm going to check that. He had a plate appearance last year. He had a sacrifice. His last official at bat was in 2016. 0 for 3 in his career. And Hansel makes contact.
Okay, Garrett, you got Seawald with 4 at bats, Lugo with 4, that's 8, Zellman 3, that's 11, Blevins 1, that's 12.
You also got guys in the minor leagues who might have had him.
Yes.
1-2 to Robles. Very enthusiastic crowd, I have to say. Hansel at least giving a good accounting of himself here, hanging in there against McCarthy. One-two coming. And he struck him out. So Robles remains without a big league hit. McCarthy has his second strikeout. 4-3 Atlanta.
La familia de Alex es de mi tierra nativa, la República Dominicana. Alex fue criado a pocas cuadras del Chase Stadium, donde su mamá María aún reside. En 2007, Alex fue capturado y asesinado por un grupo de insurgentes en Irak. Alex tenía 25 años.
Thank you to Ahmed and all the Mets for really capturing the spirit of this Memorial Day. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Hansel Robles starts his second inning of relief. And Brandon McCarthy, who just struck Robles out, will now face Robles. McCarthy had a base hit his first time up, and for the lifetime 051 hitter, that was quite a feat. Hits one sharply. Guillorme knocks it down, but makes the play. 1 out. So 1 out and nobody on, and now Ender Inciarte.
Wow. That's Johnny D's parents. They're still here.
John and Tina DeMarzigo, they've been here all day long.
They're that big of baseball fans. Wow.
I think they're just waiting for John to get off work.
Well, they're waiting for their son.
He works really hard, you know. Much harder than we do. Inciarte fouls one off. John is our associate producer. He puts together all the replays and some of the vignettes, and he'll go back in the archives and find interesting stuff, get the music. And all you do is yawn when I say that. You know yawning is contagious, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And I don't think we need that around here right now. 1-1 to Inciarte, who had a base hit his last time up. And he fouls away the changeup from Robles. 1-2. Dodgers have tied up the Phillies 4-4, a game in which Vince Velasquez carried a no-hitter into the 6th for the Phillies tonight. Phillies started the day a half game behind the Braves, 1 game behind now with Atlanta's first game win. And Inciarte down on strikes. Good fastball by Robles to get him. Second strikeout for Hansel. 2 out of the inning.
Threw that one by him.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Ozzie Albies, who had a base hit and scored a run in that 3-run third inning for the Braves. He's now 3 for 6 in this doubleheader. And he lines one into center field for another base hit. First pitch changeup from Robles, and Albies has his 4th hit of the doubleheader.
Stays back nice. Another guy with the leg kick.
So a man aboard for Freddie Freeman, who has 2 hits in this game, 4 for 5 in the doubleheader. Drove in a pair with a base hit his last time up to tie the game. When the Braves broke their team down to rebuild, the 2 guys they kept were Freeman and Julio Teheran. They signed Freeman to a deal that will carry through the 2021 season. And with all the young talent coming up around him, he is the perfect linchpin around which to build. And a fastball strike, 1-2.
The pitch before Freddie thought was low, and it was a borderline pitch. That one was a strike. So I think it just, Freddie lost a little concentration here, a little angry at Phil Cuzzy.
I think as the hour gets later, the strike zone might expand a bit. You're yawning again.
Oh, sorry. But I'm wide awake.
1-2 coming. And he struck him out. Robles blows away Freeman. Third strikeout for Robles in 2 innings of work. A hit and 1 left. On to the 5th, 4-3 Atlanta. Homered his last time up. Will lead off in the 5th of the Mets down a run, and we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, Gary, the continued growth of Brandon Nimmo really has been a revelation for this team, and he points to one very small but very specific change in his swing that he really thinks has paid huge dividends. Towards the end of August last year, he decided to take out the stride, the leg stride, and instead just lift his toe or lift his foot up so his toe is still touching in front. You see the 2016 swing on the left of your screen, and you'll see the current swing on the right of your screen. And what that did is it allowed him just an extra split second to see that fastball. He said he was having trouble catching up with the fastball, catching up with the velocity, and that adjustment allowed him to stay more consistently on the higher velo.
Steve's report brought to you by Volkswagen. Thanks, Steve.
Well, whatever works for each individual. I mean, I never had to make an adjustment in my stride, but it's foreign to me. But if it works for Brandon, and as like I said, Gary, we said in spring training that he's the most improved hitter of the youngsters coming up.
Well, he's taken a major leap forward and really solidified his spot at the top of this batting order. It's going to be fascinating to see how they keep him in the lineup when everybody's healthy. But they're going to have to. I mean, there's no question about it that he has earned his spot as an everyday player and leadoff hitter for this team.
Well, he's a table setter, and he's got pop too. He's energetic. Good eye at the plate. He gets on base.
And now hitting for some significant power as well. 5th home run his last time up today. One-two from McCarthy, and he bounces the curveball foul. Michael Conforto on deck, then Jay Bruce. It's a 4 left-handers stacked at the top of the batting order for this game against McCarthy, who has been actually far better against lefties this year than he has been against righties. Go figure. 1-2 coming. And it's popped up right near home plate. Suzuki comes back, but it'll go out of play. Cespedes has not yet headed out on a rehab assignment. He's done some running, but not running full speed yet. Todd Frazier a little closer. He's actually gone out to Vegas, where he hopes to start a rehab assignment later this week. And Nimmo pops another one up, and Suzuki this time might have a play. Nope. Just beyond the screen and out of his reach. Interesting thing about Cespedes and his return to action is that his hip, which was the problem, the hip flexor, feels fine. But since he started running again, he's had pain in his heels, which is something that has plagued him from time to time. And it's something that he's working on now. And you're going to have to fix that before he's ready to go.
Just make sure the quad is healed.
Or hip flexor, as they are calling it.
Okay,
He calls it a quad. They're all attached, you know. Grounded down to Freeman. And McCarthy wins that battle on the 7th pitch to Nimmo for the first out of the 5th. In any event, you have to figure it's going to be another week to 10 days before the Mets see Cespedes again. But at the point where you have Cespedes, Conforto, Bruce, Nimmo all healthy, I don't think this team has any choice but for Nimmo to play.
Absolutely, and he's deserving playing time. He's been performing. I mean, you've got coming home the Cubs, and then the Yankees. It's a that's a tough road to hoe coming up.
I mean, the Mets would love to have Cespedes back in time for the Yankees series. They're obviously not going to have him in time for the Cubs series. But I guess my question is, if everybody's healthy, who becomes the odd man out? It's been a hard question since day one. Curveball in for a strike to Conforto, and it's 0-2. Michael's 2 for 2 in this game. Single to right, single to left center. After going 0 for 3 this afternoon.
I mean, we could see more of what we saw in the first game with Jay Bruce at first base.
Could happen. On the ground for Albies. He one-hands it and makes the play 2 out. 6 in a row retired by McCarthy. Game 3 of this series tomorrow night. Steven Matz for the Mets. Anibal Sanchez will go for the Braves. Tuesday Night Baseball brought to you by Fios. Our coverage begins at 7 tomorrow. 7:30 start here in Atlanta, right here on SNY. Now Bruce is 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the first, flied out to left in the third. Well, McCarthy is settled in after getting the lead. Remember, the Mets were hitting bullets all over the ballpark against him over the first 3 innings. But since he's gotten in front in this game, he hasn't allowed another base runner. He's retired 6 in a row. And nothing hit particularly hard. And Bruce gets one in the air to shallow right center. Inciarte under it. Side retired. Another 1-2-3 inning for McCarthy, and we now have an official game in our nightcap. Middle of the 5th, 4-3 Atlanta. Activity as our panel of insiders breaks down the latest Mets and Yankees news on Baseball Night in New York, presented by Tri-State Cadillac Dealers, tomorrow at 6, only on SNY. Home 5th inning, Nick Markakis leads off against Hansel Robles, who starts a 3rd inning of relief. And a fastball outside for ball 1. Markakis hit a double that was misplayed by Jay Bruce in right field his last time up. And Robles gets one in for a strike. I'm trying to think if I remember Robles ever going beyond 2 innings in a big league appearance. He hasn't done it this year, that's for sure. But he certainly would not be the first Met pitcher to get stretched out in this fashion. Last year, August 22nd against Arizona, he went 3 scoreless innings. So that would be the last time. Fastball, call strike. 2-2. Kurt Suzuki, who's had a productive game already, waits on deck. Then Charlie Culberson for the Braves in the 5th. More rain is on the way, but this is now an official game with the home team leading after 4.5. Fly ball out to left. And Nimmo's right there. 1 out. Easy play there for Nimmo, but it's been a rough go in the outfield. This was yesterday in Milwaukee. Then tonight in left center. And then the ball we alluded to a moment ago that beat Bruce in right field.
The defense has been leaking oil, and the result here, you have not had a successful road trip. You can't give additional outs.
Well, really, if you go back to the season-ending injury suffered by Juan Lagares, from that point on, the Mets outfield play has been really spotty. Now, Lagares wasn't playing every day, but he was clearly your best defensive outfielder. Everybody knows that. And, you know, while Conforto is a good corner outfielder, he's not a great center fielder. And with Bruce clearly slowed a bit in right field, whether it's because of his foot or just because he's getting a little older, you've got an outfield defense that is just not what it once was. Suzuki is homered and hit a sacrifice fly in this game, driven in 2 of the 4 Atlanta runs. What was it that what was the expression Sandy Alderson used last year about the defense? It has to be de minimis. In other words, some baseline level of competence defensively. That's drilled past Reyes and down the line. Chased to the corner by Nimmo. Suzuki heads to second and slides in safely with a 1-out double. And Suzuki's fine day at the plate continues.
Ball's ripped again to the backhand of Jose. And doesn't get to that one. Again, you know, Gary, it's quite apparent that Jose is uncomfortable at third base. You know, he's used to, it's a different viewpoint being a middle infielder if the ball comes off the bat. You have more time as it is to be in the corner position. It's an entirely different read.
Culberson drives one out to center, chasing Conforto back. He'll get there and make the catch. And Suzuki goes back to second. I'll tell you what, I wonder, because, you know, Mickey Callaway's had to watch his players to try and figure out what combinations work best. Remember First time he played Conforto and Nimmo together, he had Nimmo in center and Conforto on the corner, and then he switched them. I wonder with this configuration with Guillorme and Reyes, whether he would consider putting Reyes at second, where he'd probably be more comfortable, and put Guillorme, who can play anywhere, at third.
That's a good point. And particularly, remember, when Vargas started a game, he started either Reyes or Guillorme at third base. I don't think it was Guillorme.
It was Flores.
Over Flores, or was it the other way around? Because of the range issue and the fact that Vargas is a left-handed soft tosser, those a changeup more apt to pull. Well, the same thing was with Conlon out there, not a hard-throwing left-hander. So you may have a point there, Gary.
Well, I just think, I mean, Guillorme, even though he hasn't played much third base in his life, he's been a middle infielder. I think he's got enough tools that he can play anywhere, and he's shown he can play third base. Whereas Reyes has always been more comfortable playing the middle infield. So Jacob Rame up in the Mets bullpen as Robles trying to get through his third inning of relief. Facing Camargo, who's doubled and been hit by a pitch. And he falls behind him 2-0. Suzuki at second with 2 out. And the changeup misses to Camargo, and it's 3-0. And it would appear as though Robles is running out of gas. Again, his first time this year being asked to go a third inning. And he walks Camargo, and now there are 2 men on. Third time Camargo's been aboard in this game. Rame appears to be ready if needed. But it looks like Robles is going to stay in to face Swanson.
Maybe Robles wanted to face the right-hander Swanson as opposed to the left-hand hitting Camargo.
He got Swanson on a ground out his last time up. Swanson's 0 for 2 in this game and 0 for 6 in the doubleheader. Suzuki and Camargo the base runners with 2 out. Robles trying to keep this a 1-run game. And Swanson takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Pitcher McCarthy is out on deck. He's not going anywhere. 70 pitches through 5 innings from McCarthy. And slider off the plate from Robles, a ball and a strike to Swanson. Mets with their first game loss fell to .500 for the first time this year. They won on opening day, got off to that 11-1 start, and after staving off .500 5 times, the loss in the first game today dropped them to 25-25. Swanson lifts one down the right field line, and that's going to go out of play. And it's 1-2. With the Braves' first game win, they solidify their hold on first place. Phillies lost tonight to the Dodgers after leading for most of the night. LA wins 5-4, so the Nats leapfrog the Phillies in the standings. Washington got shutout pitching from Gio Gonzalez over 7 2/3 to blank the Orioles and move into second place. But with those standings now, the Mets are entering a very dangerous phase of their season, facing quality teams. First Milwaukee, now Atlanta, then the Cubs, and soon thereafter the Yankees. 1-2 coming. Swanson fouls it back. And, you know, for a team that's in a little bit of bullpen turmoil right now and missing key parts of their offense, they have really got to mix in a win here and there to avoid a really precipitous slide that might put them a lot further back than they'd like to be at this juncture in the season. Again, the 1-2. Swanson fouls off another fastball. And Robles is about to throw a 45th pitch. Just back today from 3 weeks on the disabled list and getting a big workload here tonight. One-two coming. Bounce down to third. Reyes handles it, goes the short way to get the force, and Robles gets out of trouble in the fifth. 3 scoreless innings of relief for Robles, keeps it a 4-3 game in favor of the Braves. Larry, we just watched the video of Rhys Hoskins fouling the ball off his face.
A fastball that ran in that he couldn't hit, up and in, and all this, make sure you get to stay inside the ball. Well, he fouled it off his face.
You have to bring out the towels to mop up the blood. I think Hoskins is going to be okay, but that was scary. It was kind of like Wilmer fouling one off his nose last year in Houston. 6th inning, Mets down 4-3. Adrian Gonzalez has an RBI single in this game. He's 1 for 2. And hits Brandon McCarthy's first pitch foul. That lands in the dugout.
McCarthy has kind of switched gears here, going to that little cutter a little more than the curveball, and pitching inside to the left-hand hitters.
So with the Dodgers beating the Phillies and the Rockies just walked off a 10-inning win against the Giants, you know what that means? It means we're the last game standing tonight. Everything else is over. East Coast, West Coast, and everything in between. Gonzalez got a piece of it, 1-2. Means the entire baseball world is now hanging on your every word, Keith.
Well, don't hold your breath.
It's a lot of responsibility. I hope you're up to it.
Well, I hope they don't hold their breath.
Well, they might be. Don't let them turn blue. 1-2 from McCarthy. And he chases a high fastball.
I see where the Golden State Warriors went into Houston and took care of business.
So who do you like in the finals, LeBron or the Warriors?
Warriors this time around.
Caps or Vegas?
I have no clue. I'm not a hockey fan.
Bounce down to first. That's a foul ball. Vegas won the first game of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight.
I mean, people of our generation, it is hard to believe that there is a professional sport in Las Vegas and that the Oakland Raiders are moving there next. I find that hard to believe.
Well, now that sports betting is going to be open for business all over the country, what's the difference?
Well, decisions were made before,
right?
You know, the ruling of the Supreme Court.
There was an incremental dollar to be made, and thus the decision was made. Kevin Plawecki on deck, and then Jose Reyes for the Mets in the sixth. The Mets had leads of 2-0 and 3-1 in this game, but P.J. Conlon did not fare well in his second big league start. Gonzalez keeps fouling him away, making McCarthy work to start this sixth inning.
McCarthy leads off the next inning for the Bravos. Brian Snitker, the manager of the Braves, trying to get one more out of the veteran.
He threw 83 pitches in his last outing in 5 2/3 against the Phillies, and should be in the same neighborhood tonight. Eighth pitch of the at bat, and another foul ball. Hey, Geico Sports Night's coming up sometime, probably well after midnight, but make sure you stay up for it because there's quality programming to be had on Geico Sports Night after the post game. The basketball, the hockey, the Astros and Verlander beating the Yankees. 1-2 coming, and another foul ball on the fastball. That's, what's that, 7 straight foul balls? So Gonzalez giving a full accounting of himself in this at bat and driving up McCarthy's pitch count. This will be pitch number 10 from McCarthy to Gonzalez, former Dodger teammates, and Adrian pulls one down to Freeman at first. So McCarthy wins that battle on the 10th pitch, and he's now retired 8 in a row. 1 out of the 6th.
Well, he's found a pitch that's been successful with, and that is that cutters I said earlier to the left-hand hitters.
So 1 out now. Kevin Plawecki, who's had a successful return to action, drove in a run on a ground ball that McCarthy threw away in the first inning, and then he singled to center in the third. Kevin got hurt. He had just 20 at bats this season. So getting restarted now after a fine finish to his year last year. And a slowly hit grounder. Camargo on the charge. And he cannot hold on to it, and Plawecki's safe at first.
Jeez.
Had it in the glove, looked like it was going to be an easy play, and somehow they just scored that a base hit.
No, it's got to change.
They did.
It's got to change.
Anthony 5, the ball's in his glove, and he's going to throw out Plawecki by 20 feet, and he dropped the ball. Well, Plawecki will be happy with that. His second hit of the night.
That's got to be changed.
It's a bad call. Mets out their 7th hit after McCarthy had retired 8 in a row. And now Reyes, who's 0 for 2 at the plate, and he lines one the other way for a base hit. Plawecki pulls in at second, so the Mets have something working here in the 6th.
Went right with that beautifully. Ball down and away. No one up in the Brave bullpen. Boy, that error could be costly.
Not an error, Keith.
I'm sorry. That base
I mean,
hit.
it might someday be an error, but right now it's a hit. So here's Guillorme, who's 0 for 2 in this game after 2 hits in the opener. Tying run at second, Plawecki. Reyes at first. And Guillorme hitting the first pitch, flies one foul, 0-1.
And still playing Swanson, this Brave shortstop, up the middle on Guillorme.
Don't understand it, Keith. He's hit 3 balls in that hole at short already today.
Yep. I don't get it. What charts are they looking at?
Ball and a strike to Luis. We're going to get some action now in the Atlanta bullpen, just starting up. And Guillorme shoots one up the middle for a base hit. Plawecki to third. He'll be held up there. Inciarte's got a really good arm. And Freeman cuts it off at the mound. 3 straight hits, and the Mets have the bases loaded with 1 out.
They're a little tardy with that bullpen, unless they want to send a coach out there. Chuck Hernandez can walk out there and give that bullpen a chance to get loose. Plawecki, I believe this is the right call here.
Totally agree.
And he's a good charge by Inciarte too. It's an easy throw for him. He'd have been dead as a doornail.
Now Suzuki has gone out to buy time for Peter Moylan in the bullpen. As Rosario comes up with the bases loaded, and here comes Brian Snitker, and that's going to be all for McCarthy. So they killed enough time for Moylan to get some extra warm-up pitches, and the side-arming Aussie right-hander will come in. McCarthy out after 5 1/3 with a 1-run lead. That's rallying. We'll be right back. Universal Orlando Resort's 3 amazing theme parks, including Universal's Volcano Bay Water Theme Park, a tropical paradise like no other. Stay on site at Lowe's Sapphire Falls Resort. Just go to sny.tv/Toyota and enter today. Entering the game, the 39-year-old Australian side armor, Peter Moylan.
Well, his ERA looks sparkling, but look at the hits and innings pitched and the walks. And look at the batting average by the opponents.
He's got a 1.92 whip, which is not good at all.
And first batter's retired, Gary. Only 13 of 23, and he's in a position right now where he needs to retire the first batter.
Plawecki at third, Reyes at second, Guillorme at first after 3 straight hits. Mets down a run, but threatening with Rosario at the plate. Ahmed is 0 for 2 in this game. 1 for 6 in the doubleheader. And he lines one toward the home base hit. That'll bring in Plawecki with the tying run. Reyes is sent home. It's bobbled and left by Culberson, and the Mets take the lead. A 2-run single for Ahmed Rosario on the first pitch by Moylan, and the Mets go back in front 5-4.
You got an RBI situation, Gary. Always like the first ball, fastball hit, and there's a sinker that didn't sink. Belt high, not down in the strike zone, just laid right up for Rosario. Nicely done.
So the side armor, no problem for Rosario as he drives in a pair. His 16th and 17th RBIs, and now Jose Bautista will bat for Hansel Robles, who turned in 3 scoreless innings of relief and is now pitcher of record on the long side. Bautista played the first game in left field, got on base 3 times with a single and 2 walks. Batting here with 2 aboard and 1 out. 4 straight hits for the Mets, and Bautista takes a fastball for a strike. Robert Gazelman getting up in the Mets bullpen, with the Mets now having grabbed the lead in the 6th inning. And Moylan with a couple of fastballs gets ahead on Bautista. 0-2. Bautista 0 for 4 in his career against Moylan, who's in his 3rd tour of duty with the Braves after pitching for Kansas City last year. And it goes to the backstop, and the runners move up to second and third. A very wild pitch by Moylan, and now the Mets have 2 in scoring position.
Well, there's no doubt about this one. Look how far outside he set up, and he still couldn't get it to this one.
So the Braves, down by a run now, will bring the infield in with second and third and 1 out. 1-2 to Bautista with Nimmo on deck. And Bautista dribbles one out to Moylan. The runners will hold. The throw goes to first in time for the second out. So there's a big out for Moylan. Guillorme did not break from third base. And that'll leave 2 in scoring position with 2 out for Nimmo. And Moylan is going to stay in. They've got 3 lefties in their bullpen, but nobody up except the right-hander. That's Lucas Sims. So Nimmo bats against the side-arming right-hander. Nimmo homered back in the 3rd, 1 for 3 in this game, and takes the fastball inside for ball 1. Nimmo 1 for 7 in the doubleheader, getting his first look at Moylan. Guillorme at third, Rosario at second. Mets have scored twice here in the 6th to regain the lead.
Just a base hits needed.
And Nimmo flies one down the left field line, slicing away from Culberson near the sidewall. He's got room to make the catch, and that retires the side. So Moylan gives up the 2-run hit to Rosario, then gets the next 2 outs. Mets go in front 5-4. baseball past midnight. Why wouldn't you dance? I know Keith's been boogieing up here in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they played Casey and the Sunshine Band earlier.
That'll always get us going. You love that song. There's Robert coming in.
Zellman in for the second straight day. Ryan Flaherty, the pinch hitter, leading off in the home 6th inning. Flaherty appeared as a pinch hitter in the first game and lined out to left against DeGrom. Zellman yesterday in Milwaukee, 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, 1 hit. Both those runs came home after he left the game, as Blevins and Sewald gave it up as the Brewers rallied for 4 in the 7th inning. This time Zellman hopes to finish his own inning. Inciarte and Albies to follow after Flaherty here in the 6th. And Flaherty grounds one toward the middle, and that'll go in to center field for a base hit. So Flaherty gets aboard, carrying the tying run, leading off in the home 6th. P.J. Conlon started the game for the Mets. His second big league start. It didn't go well. 4 runs and 8 hits over 2 innings plus. Hansel Robles came on in relief, pitched 3 scoreless innings. He now is pitcher of record on the long side. And now Zellman trying to hang on to the lead that the Mets just reacquired. Inciarte up for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3. And takes a fastball just inside, ball 1. Inciarte 1 for 7 in the doubleheader. Just 5 hits in his last 36 at bats. 21 hits already in this game. 10 for the Mets, 11 for the Braves. And fastball on his hands, he fouls it off, 1-1. Robert Gsellman, his 25th appearance of the year. And that's drilled down the right field line by Inciarte, and that'll bury in the corner. Flaherty racing for third. He's being waved around by Ron Washington, and the relay throw by Guillorme has them stop Flaherty at third. Looked like Wash was waving him home, but Flaherty stopped.
Second time he's done this. Washington gives the go home sign, so his runners the lead runner keeps busting, and he gives them a late hold. And here with no outs, you certainly don't want to run yourself out of an inning. There's the double down the line. Now watch on your left-hand side. Watch him. He's waving him on. Now watch him stop him. He did that with Freeman a couple innings before.
Very late stop, and you can get your player hurt that way.
But still, you got to keep your eye on your coach. It's happens.
Now Albies takes outside for ball 1. So Gsellman greeted rudely. Single by Flaherty, double by Inciarte, and the Braves poised to get the lead right back. Albies is 2 for 3 in this game. 4 hits and 7 at bats in the doubleheader, and he chases the sinker out of the strike zone, 1-1.
Big shift on the infield for Albies. Overloaded on the right side of the infield, the Mets defenders.
Back with nobody out, so they'll concede a run on a ground ball. Flaherty at third and Inciarte at second.
Albies, a fastball hitter.
Well, he's thrown him 2 sinkers in a row out of the strike zone that Albies has chased. And now it's 1-2.
Well, you got Freeman in the on-deck circle, followed by Markakis. Well, you got to cut right through the teeth of this lineup.
Well, if you can get Albies out, you can walk Freeman.
I'm telling you, I would walk Freeman.
But first, you got to get Albies, and
Correct.
that's no easy task right here.
I mean, Freddie is just having too good a season, hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position.
2-2 coming, and he jammed him and he fouled it off. Ozzie Albies 4 hits today, all singles. Began the day leading the National League in extra base hits with 31. He's now scored 48 runs this year. We're not yet a third of the way through the season. And Albies fouls back that fastball. Rough going so far for Gazelman, pitching a second straight day. And nobody in that bullpen has been immune, it seems. 2-2. Struck him out with a breaking ball. Plawecki will make the toss to first to complete the putout. That's the first out of the inning. Reyes toying with Flaherty there.
And there's your abracadabra free pass to Freddie Freeman.
So the Mets intentionally walk Freeman to fill the bases. And that'll bring up Markakis with the bases full, which is no easy task. Markakis swinging the bat as well as he ever has. That's a double in 3 trips in this game.
And defensively, they're going to play him, give him the whole left side of the infield.
So now Gazelman with some heavy lifting to do against Markakis, who is 4 for 18 against him. Flaherty at third, Inciarte at second, Freeman at first with 1 out. Mets holding on to a skinny 1-run lead. And Markakis takes a breaking ball for a strike. Flaherty led off the inning with a single. Inciarte doubled. Freeman was intentionally walked. 12 hits now for the Braves. And Markakis fouls back the fastball, and it's 0-2. Kurt Suzuki swinging the bat extremely well tonight, waiting on deck. Zellman going with the standard issue bubble gum, not the green stuff that Robles had. 0-2. Markakis chops one slowly. A run will score. Reyes has no play. Everybody's safe, and the game is tied. It wasn't hit hard enough to turn 2, and as it turned out, the Mets couldn't even get 1. Infield hit for Markakis brings in Flaherty with the tying run.
Boy, that's got an RBI in it too. Gifted. Feel very lucky to get an RBI. Look at this. But Rosario up the middle, it makes it virtually impossible for him to make a play.
So another lead not protected by the Mets bullpen. The 3rd hit of the inning against Gazelman. And now Suzuki, who already is a home run, a sac fly, and a double in this game, will try and untie him. Mets led 2-0 and 3-1. Braves got 3 in the 3rd to take the lead. Mets regained the lead in the top of the 6th. The Braves tie it right back up in this bottom of the 6th and now threaten to go back in front themselves. Inciarte with good speed at 3rd, Freeman at 2nd, Markakis at 1st with 1 out. And Suzuki takes a fastball inside. Suzuki 1 for 5 in his career against Gazelman.
Well, we got a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. He's in the same situation here.
And that's away, and now it's 2-0. Charlie Culberson on deck. So Gazelman putting his back squarely against the wall. And it's rolled to the right side. Gonzalez coming home, and he gets the force for the second out. Nicely done by Adrian Gonzalez. Wasn't going to have a chance to turn two. It wasn't hit hard enough. And so cuts down the lead runner as he throws out Inciarte at the plate.
Well, he's playing. Watch him come to the ball quickly. Very nice. That's just a veteran play right there.
So now 2 out. The bases remain loaded, and Culberson, the first game hero, comes up. Hit the 2-run walk-off home run against Seth Lugo in the bottom of the 9th this afternoon. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Fly deep to center field his last time up. And takes low and away for ball 1. Freeman is now the go-ahead run at third. Markakis at second, and Suzuki at first with 2 out. And if Gazelman can limit the damage to just the 1 run in this inning, he will have done very well. They're chanting Charlie, instant hero. Good sinker by Gazelman, 1-1. Culberson's home run in game 1 was his first in the regular season in 2 years. An unlikely walk-off hero. And Gazelman gets ahead of him 1-2.
2 straight sinkers down and in.
One-two to Culberson. Fly ball center field. Conforto back, has plenty of room. Side retired. Gazelman bends but doesn't crack. Gives up 1 run to tie the game, and then keeps it tied 5-5 after 6. Lead over Arizona, which actually scored runs tonight. The Diamondbacks put up 12 runs against the Reds. That's a week's worth the way they were going. Meanwhile, here in the capital of Georgia, there's a lot of traffic for 12:23 in the morning. A.J. Minter will come on to pitch the 7th inning for the Braves.
He's pitched very well for this ball club. Those numbers do not defy. 7 of 7 in hold chances and has 2 saves in 2 opportunities.
Just a few too many walks, as many of these Braves pitchers have. Michael Conforto leads off the 7th and fouls off the cutter, 0-1. Conforto 2 for 3 in this game, single to right, single to left center. Brandon McCarthy started, went 5 1/3, allowed 5 runs, 9 hits. Peter Moylan gave up the go-ahead hit in the top of the 6th, and the Braves tied it in the bottom of the 6th. And so we start fresh. That's lined the other way, and Conforto has his 3rd hit of the night and early morning. And the Mets get the leadoff man on in the 7th.
Nice hitting right there. Stayed real level on that high fastball. Away, went right with it. That's a nice level swing right there on a bell-time fastball away.
So a hit for Conforto against the left-hander. Those have been few and far between this year. Same can be said for Jay Bruce, who has a double in 3 trips in this game. Mets now have 11 hits. The Braves have 13. And Minter throws the fastball away for ball 1. Bruce 0 for 2 against Minter. 24 years old, from Texas A&M. 2nd round pick by the Braves in 2015. A Texan like Jay Bruce. And Jay fouls one off, and it's 1-1. Adrian Gonzalez waits on deck. All left-handed bats to start this inning, which is why Brian Snitker opted for Minter. Conforto ruined that with a base hit. Bruce hoping to do the same. And Jay pulls one. Great stop by Freeman. From his knees, he gets the out at 2nd. What a play by Freddie Freeman. First the stop and then the throw from his knees right on target to get the force on Conforto.
Purely reaction right there, Freddie. Nice backhand. Just a beautiful play.
He had to dig in that glove a 2nd time and still made the play with a terrific throw. Adrian Gonzalez, who made a nice throw of his own in the last half inning, bats against Minter now with 1 out and 1 on. And he flies one to center, and Ciarte coming on strong, and he dives, but he can't make the catch. And Bruce pulls in at 2nd. Gonzalez has a fly ball single, and the Mets have 2 men on. Nice try by the 2-time Gold Glover in Ciarte. He just had too far to come.
Just out of his reach. And good base running by Bruce. Going halfway up the line, a little further. Easily advanced.
So the Mets trying to regain the lead, have 2 men aboard.
No going back and forth, just planting right halfway.
Now Kevin Plawecki, who has 2 hits in his return from the disabled list. And he takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. Plawecki drove in a run on a ground ball in the 1st inning, and then singled to center in the 3rd, and dribbled one to the left side that probably should have been an error on the 3rd baseman Camargo, but got scored a base hit. So he's 2 for 3. Mets now with a dozen hits in this game. 5-5 in the 7th. And a fastball misses inside at 97 from Minter. A ball and a strike. Plawecki missed 39 games with a broken left hand. And looking to deliver a big hit in the 7th inning in his first game back. That's a 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this game. And the cutter misses inside, 2-1. Minter giving up 2 hits to left-hand batters. Now is facing his first right-hand batter. Two and two to Plawecki. Jose Reyes waits on deck. Two coming. Grounded down to third. Camargo can't get it. Swanson buries it, but the bases are loaded. Seeing eye hit for Plawecki, his 3rd hit of the night to load him up. Good play by Swanson to stop it, because otherwise Bruce might have scored.
You are absolutely right here. You got to dive, keep the ball in the infield. And Swanson does a very good job about this. Prevents the run from scoring.
So now a chance for Jose Reyes to one-tie this game. Reyes is 1 for 3 tonight, had a base hit and scored his last time up in the 6th. That was batting left-handed. Now batting right-handed. He fouls off the 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Minter. So 3 hits in the inning for New York. Conforto, Gonzalez, and Plawecki, and the bases loaded with 1 out. Each team now with 5 runs and 13 hits. And Reyes fouls back a cutter, and it's 0-2. Reyes has got to put it in play. He pops it up, and it'll come back out of play. Bruce at third, Gonzalez at second, Plawecki at first with 1 out. Not much speed out there on any of those bases. On the outside corner, Reyes caught looking. A borderline call by Phil Cuzzy for the 2nd out.
I thought it was knee high. He didn't try to bring it in. We'll look at the pitch cast.
It's outside.
He got the call. You know, I always say, Gary, when it's that close, the umpire, the pitcher got the call.
So it's left to Luis Guillorme with the bases loaded and 2 out, facing the lefty. Had a base hit up the middle his last time up, 1 for 3 in this game. Late on that fastball, 0-1. Guillorme's had a good doubleheader, 3 hits and 7 at bats, but this is a tough spot for him against a hard-throwing lefty. That's hoping not to bypass a prime chance here in the 7th. 3 hits, a couple of them of the soft variety. Now it's 1-1 to Guillorme. And Luis lines one to left field, falling fast, base hit. Bruce
Forces in. Gonzalez right behind him. A 2-run base hit for Luis Guillorme. His 4th hit of the doubleheader, and he drives in a pair, and the Mets lead 7-5. Against the left-hander, Guillorme dumps one into left field to drive in 2.
Pitches up, and he goes that way. Hits a little soft line drive. All that was needed was a base hit. With 2 outs, everybody's going to be going on contact. And Guillorme, not a power hitter, just an opposite field kind of line drive hitter. Stays level on that belt-high fastball. Well done.
That'll be all for A.J. Minter. Lucas Sims will come in the game. Braves will make a double switch. Mets have gone back in front yet again. 7-5 in the 7th. We'll be right back to SunTrust Park. Bat 9th, and the new pitcher Lucas Sims will hit in the 6th spot.
Well, in the 4 games he's been in, that's a lot of walks and a lot of base hits.
Started 10 games for the Braves last year. He's been a starter most of his minor league career. He comes in to face Ahmed Rosario with 2 out and 2 on. Rosario had a 2-run base hit his last time up. Luis Guillorme just provided a 2-run hit to put the Mets back in front in a seesaw game. Mets were up 2-0 and 3-1, trailed 4-3, up 5-4. Braves tied it in the 6th. Mets have gone right back in front in the 7th. And Rosario overpowered on that fastball, and it's 1-1. Mets have 4 hits in the inning. Conforto led it off with a base hit. Bruce it into a fielder's choice. A fine play by Freeman, but then Gonzalez and Plawecki with base hits, and after a strikeout of Reyes, Guillorme delivers a pair. Asdrubal Cabrera on deck to pinch hit. If Rosario keeps the inning going. And a slider in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Lucas Sims, Georgia area kid, 1st-round draft pick by the Braves in 2012. But he has struggled at the big league level. He's ahead on Rosario, though, 1-2. And Ahmed lines a base hit to center field. Around third comes Plawecki. Here's Inciarte's throw to the plate, not in time, offline. The runners move to second and third. It's 8-5 New York. Rosario comes through with another RBI hit. He's driven in 3 runs in the game, and the Mets have a 3-run lead.
Well, the Mets turn to beat up on a bullpen here. This was a 1-2 count here. Fastball up and in, and he just muscles it up the middle. This ball should have been cut off right here, all the way over through the cutoff man. That advances the runners.
So a 3 RBI day for Rosario. Now 2 in scoring position for Cabrera, who will pinch hit. Batting for Gesellman, who's now pitcher of record on the long side. As Dribble fouls back a first pitch fastball. Cabrera 1 for 3 in the opener, or 1 for 4 in the opener today. And he has been a very good pinch hitter. Up and away from Sims. Cabrera already has a pinch hit home run to his credit this year. Jacob Rame ready to go in the Mets bullpen. Looks like he'll be on for the bottom of the 7th. And Cabrera whacks one foul, 1-2. Mets are just looking for somebody, anybody who can protect the lead. It has been such a difficult proposition through this 4-game losing streak. Mets have taken yet another lead in this game as they keep on battling back, despite the lateness of the hour and despite their current predicament. Guillorme at third, Rosario at second with 2 out. Mets now with 15 hits in this game. And Cabrera flies one out to left. Tucker is there. And that retires the side, but not before the Mets regain the lead with a 3 spot. Guillorme and Rosario with the big 2-out hits. Stretch time, 8-5 New York. Well, it was at Wrigley Field on a Sunday night in 2007 that Tom Glavine registered his 300th career win. Of course, most of them came as a member of the Atlanta Braves, but Glavine notched number 300 as a Met. And he is here tonight working as part of the Braves broadcast crew. Hi, Tommy. Hall of Famer.
No doubt.
There Go to the bottom of the 7th, 8-5 New York. You know, during the rain delay, they ran one of those MLB Prime 9 things, the top left-handers in history, and they ranked Glavine ahead of Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, I find that a little hard to believe. No slight to Tom.
Not at all. They ranked Lefty Grove #1 and Randy Johnson #2 among left-handers. But Glavine had a spectacular career. Of course, none bigger than his Game 6 performance in the 1995 World Series, which clinched the Braves their only World Championship during the stretch of 14 straight division titles they ran off. Jacob Rame will try and protect the lead in the home 7th, coming off a rough outing on Saturday. Everybody had a rough outing Saturday. That was the 17-6 game in Milwaukee. He wound up the losing pitcher in that game, gave up 2 runs in an inning of work, as the Cow is still paying rapt attention to this game. Johan Camargo has been on base 3 times in a row with a double, a hit batsman, and a walk in this game. Dansby Swanson on deck, and then Preston Tucker in the 7th, and a fastball strike from Rame, 1-2. Robert Gazelman did really well to allow just 1 run in the 6th inning. Got help from Adrian Gonzalez, getting a force at the plate. Hooked foul by Camargo. But it could have been a whole lot worse when the Braves tied it in the 6th. Well, this is a very early juncture to see J. Reese Familia up in the bullpen. Remember, in the first game, he was up briefly, but Seth Lugo was asked to pitch not only the 8th but the 9th, and it didn't work out. Line to right, Bruce coming on to pick off Camargo's liner for the first out. So Familia is going to be in this game no matter what. Drive Around the Majors brought to you by Audi. Great pitching by Gio Gonzalez tonight in the Nationals win. Justin Verlander continues to excel as the Astros won in the Bronx. And the Dodgers rallied for 3 in the bottom of the 8th as they beat the Phillies 5-4. Dodgers have now won 9 of 11. Here's Dansby Swanson, 0 for 3 in this game and 0 for 7 in the doubleheader. And he's overpowered by the Rame fastball, 0-1. Mets have had to try and patch together their pitching in this nightcap. P.J. Conlon started, lasted just 2 innings plus.
Well, the offense stepped up here, 8 runs and 15 hits.
We'll see if it's enough. Mets have lost 4 in a row, and in each of the last 3, the bullpen has given up multiple run leads. It's the first time the Mets have lost 3 straight games where they had multiple run leads since 2011. Rame strikes out Swanson for the 2nd out, and now Preston Tucker, who came onto the double switch in the last inning, will come up. In 2011, in April that season, the Mets had 5 straight games where they lost after having multiple run leads. Call strike to Tucker, 0-1. They're hoping to bring an end to that streak this morning. I don't know if you remember this, but the last time the Mets played past midnight in Atlanta, it went well for a while but didn't finish well. Remember that? That was Dylan G working a shutout into the 9th at about 1:45 in the morning, and then Freddie Freeman took him deep to ruin his night.
Yes.
Two and 1 to Tucker, and he moves away from an inside fastball, and it's 3-1. Tucker started the first game in left field, went 0 for 3 and a walk.
Threw that one right by him, and that was down in the strike zone where Tucker likes it. Rame talking to himself.
Who else are you going to talk to? 3-2. Fouled away. And I think that was Tucker talking to himself. Ender Inciarte would be next. 28 hits in this game, 13 runs. Rame trying to calm it down. And he takes care of Tucker, side retired. Rame works the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for a Mets pitcher. On to the 8th we go, 8-5 New York. Look at those eyes. Second when the Mets take on the Cubs at 7:15. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Todd Frazier BP pullover, courtesy of Nikon. For tickets, visit Mets.com/tickets. We go to the 8th inning in the night morning cap of our day night morning doubleheader. Yeah, some people just they haven't made it. Brandon Nimmo leads off in the 8th inning against Lucas Sims, who came on in the 7th, gave up a run scoring hit to Rosario before registering the final out. Nimmo is 1 for 4 in this game. He homered back in the 3rd, his 5th home run of the year. And he clocks this one out to right, but it'll stay in the ballpark from Markakis onto the warning track and makes the catch right in front of the wall. Nimmo just missed his 2nd home run of the game.
Tell you what, Brandon hustles everything out. This, he just got under that one.
So 1 long out and nobody on, and now Michael Conforto, who's 3 for 4 in this game. 2 of his hits have gone to left field. Take a gander at the Fidelis Care Mets box score. Plenty to look at there. 3 RBIs for Rosario, 2 for Guillorme in the 7 and 8 holes. Plawecki 3 hits in his first game back from the DL. Conforto 3 hits as well. 3 hits for Michael have raised his average to 241. Sims behind him 2-0. And now 3-0. In case you missed anything in the box score, let's give you another look.
A lot of offense.
Anything you'd like to point out there?
Oh, I think you pretty much got it covered.
And there's ball 4, and Conforto's aboard for the 4th time in this game. That is the first walk given up by Braves pitching tonight. 15 hits, but now just the first walk. And that'll get Jay Bruce to the plate with a man on. Bruce hit one that appeared destined for the hole his last time up, but Freeman made a terrific diving play and got a force at second base. Jay is 1 for 4 in this game, 1 for 8 in the doubleheader. takes a fastball from Sims for a strike. Lucas Sims, the 4th pitcher of the game for the Braves. Brandon McCarthy went the first 5 1/3, allowed 5 runs, 9 hits. Peter Moylan, 2/3 of an inning, no runs, 1 hit. And then A.J. Minter, 2/3 of an inning, 3 runs, 4 hits. It's Minter who's on the hook. And a little rain is beginning to fall.
Oh,
Did we mention that at any point during this day? I don't remember.
Let me take a little peek here, Gare. Oh, just a little speck.
That's drilled down the line, but foul. And a terrific play by the ball boy. That was outstanding on the backhand. Sparkling play. Yeah, you ought to smile. Can't pretend that's nothing. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Reflex is still sharp. 1-2 to Bruce.
Everybody's going to sleep good tonight. Both squads. I think you and I too, except Garrett. You had a lot of coffee tonight. I'm worried about you.
It's going to be really, really tough, Keith. Let me tell you. Runner goes and Bruce fouls it off. Conforto was in motion. I'm not sure I've ever consumed as much coffee in an 18-hour span. I mean, you know, I got up about 7 o'clock this morning. Had a cup of coffee, as I generally do, and have a little iced coffee during the game.
You and Ron can pound the coffee.
But, you know, it's been a lot of hours since that first alarm went off this morning. Or yesterday morning, as the case may be.
I beat you all here yesterday.
1-2 coming, and Bruce takes the changeup low and away. 2-2. Adrian Gonzalez waiting on deck. I have a feeling that when I try to sleep tonight, I'll be thinking of the BP pullover promo.
You'll be thinking of, I think, a lot of promos.
And Bruce goes down swinging for the second out. First strikeout for Lucas Sims in relief.
Out in front.
And right back to that changeup. So 2 out. Conforto still at first. Here's Gonzalez, who's 2 for 4 in this game. He's scored a run. He's driven in a run. And Adrian gets crowded for ball 1. And just back safely. Conforto got picked off in the first game today. Nearly got picked off again. Gonzalez. This game was delayed by nearly 3 hours at the start by rain. We had a 31-minute rain delay in the midst of the first game. Whatever brief rain was falling appears to have stopped. We think, for the moment. Stay tuned tomorrow. Should be more. Sims behind 2-0 on Gonzalez. And he misses with a changeup, and it's 3-0. Plawecki already has 3 hits tonight. He's on deck. Every starting position player has hits in this game for the Mets. Here's a strike, 3-1. Conforto has 3 hits. Gonzalez has 2 hits. Plawecki has 3 hits. Guillorme has 2 hits. Rosario has 2 hits. Three-one coming. Conforto runs. Gonzalez grounds it right to Freeman, and that'll end the inning. So Sims works around a walk in the 8th. Nighty night. It's been a long day. Live streaming presented by Verizon. Just visit SNY.TV or download the NBC Sports app today for a live streaming coverage of every SNY Mets game. The dancing continues. It's a 1 a.m. dance party at SunTrust Park. He's got his rally cap. He's got his dance moves.
You can get in a lot of trouble at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Not in the ballpark. Well, Jerry's Familia brought in to start the bottom of the 8th. Jerry's has not gone 2 innings in a game this year. He did it only once all of last year. We'll see whether he's asked to do that tonight. Top of the batting order, Ender Inciarte is 2 for 4 in this game and takes a fastball for a strike. Familia hasn't pitched since Wednesday, so he's had 4 full days off. He has gotten up in the bullpen a couple of times, including in the first game today, but was not brought in. And it's slapped toward third and just foul. Third base umpire Ben May had to think about it for a second before pointing foul.
Just foul and the correct call.
To Inciarte with Albies and Freeman to follow in the 8th. And he moves his feet. 1-2. Last time Familia pitched, it was that blown save against the Marlins. The game DeGrom pitched 7 scoreless innings. So he's had plenty of time to sit on that one. I don't know. Do you think he's being asked for a 6-out save here? Do you think that Mickey's just looking to have him take care of the top of the order?
I do not believe that Sewald's going to come in and pitch the 9th inning. And Lugo, I don't believe is going to come in.
No.
And certainly not Bautista.
Or Blevins.
correct.
Struck him out. Fastball blew away Inciarte for the first down in the bottom of the 8th.
Tied him up.
Well, Jason Vargas, who volunteered to go to the bullpen for the doubleheader today after making an abbreviated start over the weekend in Milwaukee, is up in the bullpen. Went 3 innings on Saturday. Ozzie Albies takes inside ball 1. It might be a case where he was available all day and is just getting his work in now, figuring that he would not be used at this point. Albies is 2 for 4 in this game, 4 for 8 in the doubleheader. And he grounds one into the shift. Guillorme's there to field it, and there are 2 out. So 2 up and 2 set aside by Familia on just 7 pitches. And if he is going to be asked to get 6 outs, then certainly it would be helpful if he could have himself a quick inning here. But he has to get through Freeman first. Freddie's been on base 3 more times in this game. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, an intentional walk his last time up. He's 4 for 6 in the doubleheader. And he gets jammed and rolls one off his foot. Foul ball. In a little bit of discomfort.
Did it get above his knee on the thigh? Wherever it hit him, it hurt him. Let's see right here. Yep, it got the
the outside of the knee.
Yep, above it.
Yeah.
Either way you look at it or slice it, Gary, it hurts.
That's good analysis, Keith. Freeman has good numbers against Familia, 5 for 15 with a couple of home runs. It's a lot of meetings with a closer. Familia just happened to face him in a 3-run game with nobody on. And Freddie clocks one down the line toward the pole. That's a foul ball.
That was a rocket. Freddie limping a little bit back home. Let's see what it's about. How far? Foul. Around the foot.
Ooh. Was it?
Yeah, it was foul. But he's so quick inside, Gary.
I mean, he doesn't seem to have any cold zones, does he?
No.
I mean, he used to be able to get him up upstairs, but I don't think he can even do that anymore. And he lifts this one foul. That'll go out of play. Let's take another look at this. Where exactly did it hit?
Right there.
Ooh, just outside the stripe. Like the first brick over. Markakis would be next. 0-2 to Freeman. He grounds that foul. And he fouls that one straight back. Boy, he's getting some good whacks against Familia.
He's 0-2, and he's just a tough out. Got to figure that he's going to drop a hammer on him. It's a little slide ball here, 0-2. See if we get him go fishing.
0-2. Struck him out. Familia kept with the fastball, and he strikes out Freeman. And he gets the side 1-2-3 with a couple of Ks in the bottom of the 8th. On to the 9th we go with the Mets up 8-5. Kevin Plawecki leading off the 9th inning. 3 hits in his return from the disabled list. 3 for 4 and an RBI today. He's also scored a couple of runs. And Lucas Sims gets the breaking ball in for a strike, 1-1. Sims came on to get the final out of the 7th. Worked through the 8th and staying on for the 9th. And Plawecki lays off the breaking ball, and it's 2-1. Reyes and Guillorme to follow. And it would appear as though Familia is going to be asked to get outs 4, 5, and 6 as well in the bottom of the inning. There was an amorphous call by Phil Cuzzy.
Yes, it was.
Nobody in the ballpark knew if it was a ball or a strike. I think it's ball 3.
Yes.
And now 3-2.
I think he wanted to call it a strike and lifted up and said ball.
Trying to figure out whole game who it was.
Phil had the advantage. He didn't have to work the first game. 3-2 breaking ball fouled off by Plawecki.
So that's right, Gary. You just 12 hours ago we started baseball.
Started at 1:13. That was the first pitch this afternoon. PM. And it is now 1:12 a.m. and Plawecki's on with a leadoff walk. And we still have billboards to read too. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your local tri-state Volkswagen dealers. By Empire City Casino, current jackpot is now over $1.1 million. You could be the next big winner. And by Spectrum, hey Mets fans, get the best TV, internet, and voice service today at Spectrum.com. You know, the way you have to look at this is Plawecki's on base for the 4th time today. It's just like a West Coast game.
Yeah.
You know, where it's a little after 10 o'clock in the East and it's 1 o'clock.
But it's not. There's never been a game that's been 12 hours long.
game that was 12 hours long. I don't think we've had a day that's lasted this long. Not that I can recall. Just from start to finish.
Before you know it, we'll be having breakfast.
Not sure breakfast is on the itinerary for tomorrow. May go straight to lunch.
I wanted to work out tomorrow. That'll be a big test.
Yeah, that's a foul ball. Went off Reyes' bat. Plawecki wasn't sure, so he took off. But now it's 1-2 to Jose, who's 1 for 4 in this game. Well, our camera folks have been here all day.
Oh boy.
Day game, night game, morning game. They've been focusing through it all. Thanks for their hard work. And the curveball misses down from Sims, 2-2. I like when they have the little SNY wrap on the camera. Makes it feel very homey. Like the little sleeve they put on the
Sure.
2-2 coming. Reyes punches one foul back underneath our camera people. Luis Guillorme waits on deck. He's had himself a big day. Plawecki at first and nobody out. 2-2 from Sims to Reyes. And now ball 3. Sims very vocally upset with that last pitch. That's a much echoed sentiment around the ballpark today, Lucas.
Don't throw a changeup if it's your third pitch.
And he strikes out Reyes with the changeup. He didn't listen to it.
I take that back.
That's his second strikeout. And there's one down at the top of the ninth.
Hello, Dolly, this late.
Well, now Guillorme, who's had himself quite the day. 2 hits in the first game, including an RBI double. 2 hits in the second game, including a 2-run single in the 7th that put the Mets back in front. Made it 7-5, and the Mets have held the lead so far. Its bullpen has been much better so far in this game, but still 3 more outs to get. Guillorme lifts one to left. Tucker coming toward the line. And that's the second out. Plawecki back to first. So now Ahmed Rosario was the first batter that Sims faced when he came into the 7th. And Rosario banged a single to center to drive in a run. His 3rd run in this game. 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Mets 8 runs, 15 hits. The Braves 5 runs and 13 hits. And Rosario chases the curveball, 0-1. In the bottom of the 9th, the Braves will have Markakis, Suzuki, and the pitcher spot coming up against Familia, who's already gotten 3 outs and will be looking for 3 more. This time Rosario lays off and it's 1-1. And it could well be that the Mets will have another plate appearance by a relief pitcher because Familia is on deck. They've already had one in this game. Robles took a turn at bat in the 4th inning. And if Rosario gets aboard, Familia will get a chance as well. And now it's 3-1 to Rosario. Big cut. 3-2.
He's got to stay away from that. These are those at bats I always talked about. You know, it's a long day. It's your last at bat. Bear down.
Plawecki will run with 3-2 and 2 out. And Rosario chases the breaking ball for strike 3. Nicely done by Sims to work around the leadoff walk. Familia will go back to the mound with an 8-5 lead going to the bottom of the ninth. Why is brought to you by Geico, the #1 insurer in the New York market. By Cash for Life from the New York Lottery, you could win $1,000 a day for life. And by Verizon, the most awarded network is now the best streaming network. On our long day's journey into night and now morning, Jerry's Familia will try and get the final 3 outs. Retired the side 1-2-3 in the 8th. He faces Nick Markakis to start the 9th and gets the comebacker, knocks it down. Plenty of time. 1 out. Familia not panicking. 1 pitch, 1 out in the last of the 9th. And now Kurt Suzuki, who has had a big day at the plate. Home run, sacrifice fly double. He's 2 for 3. Dustin Peterson is out on deck. They just called him up between games of the doubleheader to take Ronald Acuna's spot on the roster. This will be Peterson's major league debut if he gets to the plate. Four up and 4 down for Familia. 2 more to get. And a first pitch inside to Suzuki, ball 1. And a knee-high fastball for a strike, 1-1. Later tonight, game 3 of this series with Steven Matz on the mound, looking to back up his fine performance Thursday in Milwaukee. 7:30 game. Plenty of time to get yourself some sleep and get ready. Suzuki fouls it away, and Familia ahead in the count, 1-2. Jay Reese trying to go 2 full innings for the first time this year. working on 4 days rest, so he should have plenty in the tank. One-two coming, and Suzuki fouls away a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Robert Gazelman is pitcher of record on the long side. Mets bullpen has worked 6 1/3 tonight and given up only 1 run after P.J. Conlon's ill-fated start. He went 2 innings plus, allowed 4 runs, 8 hits. Robles soaked up 3 innings, didn't allow a run in his first start back from the DL. That was big. 1-2, and Suzuki fouls one into the dirt. Gazelman gave up a run in his inning, but did well to prevent it from being worse. Jacob Rame worked a 1-2-3 7th. Familia has gotten his first 4 batters out, as P.J. Conlon can only look on. Mets won his first start after he got knocked out in the 4th, and they're trying to win this one in his start as well. 1-2, little nubber. Guillorme comes in to get it. 2 out. So 5 up and 5 down for Familia. The Braves are down to their final out of the morning, and Dustin Peterson will make his major league debut as the pinch hitter. 23 years old from Gilbert, Arizona, 2nd-round pick by the Padres in 2013. Those are his numbers in AAA this year. And now at 1:24 in the morning, he gets to make his major league debut. How many people can say their first at bat in the big leagues was at this hour of the day?
But I bet you he's wide awake.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Well, look how he holds his bat, Garrett, straight up and down, like Bobby Bonds used to hold his bat that way. Oh, there you go. I was just an hour off on my pick when the night would be over.
Oh, you were in a pool?
Yeah, well, I said 12:30.
And now Familia has the Braves down to their final strike. Oh-2. And Peterson fouls one away. So Dustin Peterson is actually making his major league debut on May 29th. But when they look in the record books, it'll say that he made his major league debut on May 28th.
Yes.
It's a bit of a quirk. Again, the 0-2. Outside. 1-2 to Peterson. If he keeps it going, Johan Camargo would be next. Two and two. This one's not ending easily.
It's very persistent.
Two coming to Peterson. And he fouls that one away. Well, he's not going to let his first big league at bat end without a fight. Seventh pitch of the at bat. Outside, ball 3. He thought it was ball 4.
Oh.
He has to come on back. That's embarrassing.
Oh boy, your first at bat. Oh my.
Now that'll draw some smiles. Now he's got to settle back in. 3-2 to Peterson.
struck him out, and the ball game is over. Jerry's Familia 6 up and 6 down, and 12 hours and 15 minutes after it started, the Mets gain a split of this day-night doubleheader as they beat the Braves 8-5.
Well, the offense came into the rescue. The bullpen did a terrific job. 7 innings, 1 run. The big stars of the game, 5 RBIs at the bottom of the order. You got Guillorme with 2 RBIs. Rosario with 3 RBIs. 3 hits from Plawecki, first game back off the DL. That's a nice day. Conforto with 3 hits. So a big offensive night. Or morning.
Well, it was a day game. It was a night game. It was a morning game. Mets played 2 games today. They get back over 500 with a split of the day-night doubleheader as the bullpen rebounds with 7 good innings tonight. Familia with the last 6 outs, and the Mets win at 8-5. For every Mets win, the Mets organization is proud to contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Katz Institute for Women's Health. For more information, visit northwell.edu/cats. This win brings the total contributions so far this season to $65,000. Final score tonight in the night game of the doubleheader: Mets 8 and the Braves 5. Game 3 of this series.